So I've spent a lot of time on the internet, and I have seen more than my fair share of religious debates. And I have compiled a list of 5 arguments that I really believe that believers should stop using. Please, 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 please. You know, a lot of these arguments, the reason that I don't like them is because they kind of backfire when they're flipped around. For example, well, Yeshua had to be the Messiah, because how else could one man change the course of history and cause millions of people around the globe to follow him? Well, same thing with Muhammad. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Islam is true. Now this next one's more for atheists than it is for non-Yeshua believers. Hey, if I'm wrong, I've wasted my life. If you're wrong, you've wasted your eternity. See, this is motivating by fear, which rarely produces a positive result. Now, even if for some reason this does happen to convince somebody to pronounce a belief in God, the purpose of following God is not to get into heaven. If the reason that you believe in God or Jesus is to get to heaven, well, put simply, you're doing it wrong. And really, your God is yourself. You're just focused on you, when it's all supposed to be about him, because he's the king. We don't do the mitzvot for a reward. Though there are blessings if we do them, that's not what I'm talking about. Another one that I've seen before that really makes me facepalm is, well, the Bible's true because the Bible says that it's true. I hope I don't need to explain why that is a bad argument. Now this next one is very interesting. Confidently claim that God doesn't exist requires that you have absolute knowledge of everything in the universe, which is pretty presumptuous. So atheism is pretty presumptuous in believing that it does, right? Wrong! The problem with this argument is that most atheists don't claim that it is impossible for God to exist, but rather there is a large amount of evidence that says that God does not exist. An atheist is not required to prove 100% that God does not exist. If we humans would only believe what we know with 100% certainty, we would know like nothing. All of history would have to be just thrown away, because we can't believe that those accounts are trustworthy. We don't even know if this world that we're in is reality. I might be dreaming. Have you ever had a dream where you have recalled a dream previously in your dream, and then because you can recall a previous dream, say, I am not dreaming? I had one the other night. It was really weird when I woke up. And finally, this last one gets on my nerves so much. So what would it take for you to say you were wrong and to believe in God? You know what? Let's flip this one the other way. What would it take for you to admit you were wrong and to renounce God? I'll bet that the first thought that popped in your head was, I wouldn't renounce God. Bing, bing, bing! The way that you feel about your religious convictions is the same way that the atheist feels about his non-religious conviction. And that is not to say that somebody cannot come to a belief in God after a discussion with somebody else. But realistically, how many online debates have you seen where somebody goes, you know, I never thought of it that way. I'm gonna have to completely change my opinions on everything. Wow! Let me count the number of times that I've seen that. Like 3. But that is to say that when you do debate somebody, it's probably a safe idea to not expect to completely convert them, at least with only one discussion. And treat the atheist the way that you would like the atheist person to treat you. That's not that hard. My question of the week was posed to me by my really good friend, and I've really been thinking about it since. It's a real whopper. Okay, say there was no afterlife. Would you still continue to live the way you're living now? Wow. Boy. That really made me realize how selfish I am, even with following God. To be totally honest with you. Okay, so let me ask you. Do you like it better when I'm here in this kind of set here, or do you like it better when I'm outdoors? Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna get a shotgun mic soon, so there's not nearly as much reverberation. Right now I am filming with the, this is gonna be loud, Tascam DR5, which has a microphone going this way and this way. So I pick up a lot of reverberation. And if you do say that you prefer being in the set more, maybe I can try and like switch things up on that desk every week. Maybe like, here, I'll do it now. Next week things will be all messed up. Oh, lag! Or like I'll have a different thing on that desk each week, I don't know. Okay. Toodaloo. I gotta go now. You thought I left, didn't you? You thought wrong. Oh my gosh.